You're listening to Robin Flan's Drummer Interviews, the #1 drum radio show in all of Los Angeles,
the world, the galaxy.
Hi, this is Robin Flans with Robin Flans Drummer Interviews, and I'm sitting here with my producer and co-host, Ed Eblin.
Hi, everybody.
And so today we're initiating a new segment. It's called Street Beat. And we're going to check in with, the Street Beat is kind of this thing where we check in with a road guy, like who's working really hard, sort of making it happen, or, somebody who's maybe doing their first recording, or
in this case, a big international metal festival out of the country. So that certainly qualifies too.
Yeah. And this particular kind of guy is somebody you know really well, Ed.
Who, me? I'd never heard of him. No,
well,
actually, no. I've heard of him a little bit. We grew up together in the same house with the same parents. I don't know how we met, but that's the way we lived.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's my brother, and he was over in Germany, and I hope I get this right, but it was at the Keep It True Festival. This just happened a few months ago, but he'll come on and tell you all the details. But it was a real exciting heavy metal event, and there was a lot of other people there, and it was well publicized. And
okay. Yeah. Now you're taking it away from me. Okay, you're being a pig.
Yeah.
So this guy's name, we haven't even said it yet, is Joe Rezendes, and the band is a metal blade band, and their name is Thrust, and this band has just celebrated their 35th frickin' anniversary. And so, that's pretty big. And before any further ado, I'm going to bring this drummer on, Joe Rezendes, so he can tell us all about this monumentous event. So, Joe, tell us everything. First of all, let's back up. Tell us first how you came to join up with Thrust.
I'm sorry, how I came to what?
Join up with the band.
It was quite a while ago, actually. Thrust had originally formed out in Chicago, and they moved out here from Chicago. They did a couple compilation albums on Metal Blade, and then they did a full-length album on Metal Blade called Fist Hell High. And did some really cool things at the time, and then I don't know all the real specific details because I'm not the original member from that time, but the band basically ended up breaking up, and the lone member, guitarist Ron Cook, basically kept it going, and I joined that way.
So was it an audition call? Did you get the audition through a friend? How did you come about to audition for them?
It was actually, I don't remember what the magazine was called now that I've seen the ad in. I want to say, I think it was LA Connection magazine.
Music Connection? Was it Music Connection?
Oh, Music Connection. I'm sorry, Music Connection. Yeah.
Okay.
I answered an ad in the Music Connection, and talked on the phone, kind of hit it off a little bit, so from there, we met up and just listened to each other's stuff and figured, okay, let's go further with it. And I auditioned from that point on.
What was the audition like?
It was a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, most auditions are.
Yeah. And I was stepping into something, and of course, anytime you go into a situation like that, you want to be on your game. But, your nerves are on edge. Wait
a minute. So what did you do to prepare for the audition?
Well, I learned, a couple of tunes, and it was kind of a loosey-goosey type of thing, but there was, I had to there's a couple songs I had to learn. It was kind of a short audition in that, yeah, it was just a couple of songs, and then that I had to learn, and then from there it was we just kind of jammed out on just riffing, you know what I mean, just to see how we gelled and felt playing with each other and all that. Mm-hmm. So it was cool, and it was kind of loose like that, which was good because I went in there feeling all uptight and, thinking everything's going to be all regimented and overly structured. And,
right.
And I felt more into it than it really was.
So when you showed up at this thing, were there like a lot of people at the audition? Was that like a thing? Was it intimidating? Was that weird?
No. There wasn't a lot of people there, which was cool. I thought there was going to be. I'm thinking basically like a cattle call, shuffling one in after the other type of thing. And I think I've been on a couple of auditions like that, and they're pretty unsettling.
Yeah.
Everybody's a nervous wreck, and but no, it wasn't that type of thing. I guess their thinking was, it's a better overall situation to just have one guy come down every night. They're having an audition, one different guy at night.
Well, that's
pretty
considerate.
Really cool.
Yeah, I mean that's if they can do it like that. I mean that is much more considerate.
Yeah.
So you got the gig, and then how much rehearsing did you guys do before you went over to Germany?
Well, I was still there because this is way back. I was talking about way back.
So you had the gig for quite some time before you guys went to this festival.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I got it. I wasn't sure of the timeline. Okay, so this Germany festival thing was a really pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, tell us about it.
It was the Keep It True Festival goes on every year. Mm-hmm. Towards the end of April, and it's been going. I think they're going to celebrate in 2017 their 20th year, which is pretty cool. But it was probably one of the most, if not the most, amazing experiences I've had in my life.
Tell me, tell me.
Words can't describe. It was just, everything went off really smooth. The organizer Oliver just did a phenomenal job, and everything from the back line and the back line crew, and of course, the people that we met and all the fans that we met there and all that. It's just like a big community, like a big family. It just, we all felt very welcomed, and everybody was really nice, and we made quite a few friends over there that we all keep in contact with now through Facebook and all that, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those experiences you can't put into words.
So how long a set did you get to play?
We did we had a 45-minute set, and we had it timed pretty good. We actually got through it in 44 minutes. So we figured, okay, well that's cool because that's better than going over and ruffling feathers.
Right. And so let's talk about. I mean, your set is pretty. I mean, I haven't seen your whole set, but I mean, I know the music is pretty high powered, high energy. I mean, it's metal. So I did, see the video online, and you're, a double bass kind of guy. And have you always played double bass drums?
Yeah. I was, since I bought my first kit, which I actually still have, believe it or not.
Wow.
I've always gravitated towards the double bass because I've always gravitated towards the rock stuff, and that was what was, that was the same for rock and metal was double bass. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've always played the double bass. I don't have the second bass drum now. I slimmed down to the double pedal instead because it's easier to move gear around. Okay. So you've adapted to the newer technology, so to speak. Yes.
But I think at the festival you played 2 bass drums, yes?
Yes, I did. That was the backline that they had.
Okay.
Was I had the choice. I could have used the double pedal or the double bass drum kit. Mm-hmm. And when I was talking to the backline manager and telling him what I wanted, he goes, "Well, you want the other bass drum just because it looks cool?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I thought I was going to have the double pedal with just the second bass drum just as for show. And when they called me up to kind of fine-tune angles and all that stuff, there was no double pedal. It was a double bass.
Uh-oh.
And that was it. Each with a single pedal on it.
So
and
was that...
I was a little bit
that
skeptical because
that had to be an adjustment.
Yeah, because some of the double pedals, there's a delay, as opposed to playing your left foot with a pedal directly on the bass drum.
Right.
I'm sure you're aware of. So I kind of, before we went on, while the band in front of us was still playing, I kind of was tapping away on them to get a little more of a feel of it. But because I played the actual double bass kit before, it wasn't too hard to really adjust back to it.
But how long had it been though since you had played like a double kit?
15 years.
Yeah, but so I mean, hello. I mean, a little bit of an adjustment for you. I mean,
yeah.
Wow. Okay. And at a big festival, I mean, that had to, put a little bit of a butterfly in your tummy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it definitely did. It definitely did. Because, the first thing you're thinking of is, geez, I hope I don't screw up. And the opening song, which is a song called Fist Held High, it opens with the double bass drums. And I was like, okay, I'm telling myself in my head, just relax. You can do this. And when the lights went down, I was able to pull it off. So and from that point on, after I got through the beginning of Fist Held High, which is my biggest worry because that song just starts with the double bass.
Right. You knew you had
it. Okay,
yeah.
I'm cool. I can do this.
You knew if you could do that, you could do it all. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm backing up now. I started a question and I kind of I sidetracked myself. So what I was starting to say was, I mean, it's a pretty high-powered set, and I'm wondering how you keep your stamina going.
Cardio exercises, and we also rehearse the way we play live. Because it is a lot of fast moving songs, and the set is pretty grueling, and we don't take much time in between songs, so there's not a whole lot of time to breathe really. But on a personal level, I work out, I do the cardio and all that stuff, but also when we rehearse and we're practicing the set, we actually play it like we're going to play it live, and we keep doing that over and over and over again. Of course, nothing can fully adjust you to the hot lights and of course the fog machine that dries your throat out.
Oh God!
You can't get enough water in you to wet your whistle, so to speak.
Yeah, and do you do anything to warm up before you go on?
I do. I have a pad that I use, and I just warmed up with the practice pad in the dressing room before I went on. I did that for about 30 minutes before we went on because I want to make sure I was really loose and didn't want to take a chance of cramping up or anything. So that's my warm-up. I just go through the rudiments on the practice pad.
Okay. All right. And so with that, we're going to take a little bit of a commercial break, and we'll be right back with Joe Rezendes.
If you could design your own drum practice pad, what would it feel like? At ePad, our EnduraFlex practice surface was perfected to eliminate extreme bounce and unrealistic rebound. The benefits of ePad include quiet playing surface and shock-resistant properties that help reduce the risk of stress-related injuries. ePad offers the perfect feel and energy return for developing speed, endurance, and control. You will meet the challenge of the weaker hand with ePad. Warm up with our knee pads, tabletop practice pads. Warming up on ePads provides a natural transition from practice pad to drum set. At EPAD, we know the need for speed, control, and endurance. Get your chops together with EPAD's EnduraFlex playing surface. Practicing with EPADs builds your finger, wrist, and forearm strength and helps you gain better control and endurance. Into feel? Well, EPADs replicate the response and feel of a real drum. Our Pro Deluxe knee pad is portable, convenient, and lightweight. Perfect for the beginner, intermediate, or pro touring drummers. Find out why our products are a must-have. EPAD, your source for high-quality drum set practice pads and accessories.
Listening to Robin Flan's drummer interviews on Spreaker.com.
Be sure to check those pads out at epadco.com. That's epadco.com.
Hey, kid, I got a few questions for you. Can you hear me? All right, good. Number one, when you were talking about the backline gear a few minutes ago, you didn't mention the brand name? What were the drums?
No.
What were the drums you were using?
They were Tama.
Oh, Tama. Okay, so Tama. Just out of curiosity, the sizes of the drums. I know you said you had 2 bass drums, so I'm assuming 22 by what?
2218 on the bass drums, and the rack toms they gave me were I want to say 10, 12, and 16 on the floor. Well, it might have been 8. It might have been 8 and 10 on the racks and 16 on the floor.
I got really 8 and 10 for rack toms.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, but no, because now I'm thinking I'm leaning more towards 10 and 12 on the racks.
Oh, okay. I was going to say 10 I can see, but the 8 and 10 on a gig like that you're playing at maybe faster tempos, you got to be deadly accurate to be hitting an 8-inch tom. But I was just curious as to what what the brand was. So are you with Tama, or did they just happen to be the gear of choice by the backline company?
Well, my kit's a Tama kit, so I own Tama drums, and I just it just luck would have it that that's what the backline kit was a Tama kit. Oh,
but it's cool that you're in the Tama as a drummer. So I mean, you happen to get the kit that you really like playing, and so
yeah.
But maybe in the future there'd be some sort of an association with Tama.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm just saying in case any Tama rep might be listening, because I was looking at that festival too online, and it looks huge. It looks like a great. It's sort of like a Woodstock metal. It's like a version of Woodstock, only in the metal realm of music. And also, the other thing I'd be curious about is what's your monitor mix like on a gig like that? Because I assume there's other bands playing. You're not the only one, but maybe there's how many other bands are on the bill with you?
That were on the Keep It True bill. I want to say there was like a total of 20 bands because it was a two-day event. But the monitor mix was phenomenal. I had everything, and the volume was perfect. I had no complaints from the monitor mix. It's probably the best monitor mix I've ever had. Because there's always, it seems like there's something missing or something that could come up a little bit more, and you never get that. But the monitor mix is phenomenal. It's like I was standing in front of the PA and the amps.
So for something like that, do you get like much of a sound check?
No, there wasn't much of a sound check outside of just hit Tom 1, hit Tom 2,
right?
Because it's all their gear. So pretty much they've got it dialed in for the most part, as far as the amps and all that. And then it's just a matter of getting more so the level on the drums, because they have 2 drum risers, both on wheels, and they roll one out to the main stage, and the other one's behind the curtain, and they're setting up the kit for the next band. And so it's more of a level thing, getting volume levels, because each guy's going to hit harder or softer, that kind of thing. But for the most part, they got the actual tones and all that all dialed in.
Right. And were you there for both days of the festival? Did you play both days or just one day? And if so, which day was it, the first or second?
It was one day. We played on Friday. It was the festival was Friday and Saturday. We played Friday. Of course, we went back Saturday to hang out and see all the other bands and all that.
Yeah.
But we played just on Friday.
Oh, very cool. And so you said you did a 45-minute set. I'm just curious, too, that in a situation like that, that's the only band you're in, Thrust. That's the mainstay of what you do, correct? Because a lot of guys in Los Angeles are doing several bands. Could be 3 to 5. Yeah, I don't. Hang on, sorry about that. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I know who it is. Someone's in the doghouse later. So no, but anyway, I won't mention any names. Taylor, stay off the phone. Okay, but anyway, what was I saying? So, in reference to the couple of days that you were there and the type of music you're playing, are you using a click track for references for tempos of songs? Because I know you said you're going pretty much from one to the other, so there's not a lot of time.
Yeah, no, I don't use a click when we play live, or when we practice. When we practice the set, in the studio rehearsal. I don't think I've ever used a click live. Just recording.
Yeah, and that's probably the thing. You're in one band. All your energy goes into that. You rehearse, and then so you get a feel for each other and perceptions of tempos, and that's the way. And it's great because you know what? I'm realizing that when you're playing in so many different bands, you have to remember all the different people have different interpretations of their tempos or the way they like to feel certain songs. So you just go out, you hit hard for 45 minutes, and it comes out great. And of course, the energy that you're feeding off the crowd too must it really sort of sends you deeper into the groove, and it becomes easier. They sort of lift you, especially if they're into what you're doing. If you go.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. The crowd. The energy from the crowd was absolutely amazing, and we set up that big time. The responses, the crowd response we got in between every song at the end of the set, it was just really amazing.
Yeah, it's got to be incredible to see people that are familiar with your songs, people that you don't know, but they're, obviously they know your tunes, and it's got to feel great to look out and be playing the songs and see people react to it like that. So that's got to it was quite how do I describe it? It was quite a rush to look out and actually see people mouthing the words back.
Wow!
As they're singing, as Andy singing, but everybody in the crowd knows the words and they're mouthing them back and singing along. And, pumping the fists in the air. Yeah.
I was going to say, too, real quick, just so we all don't forget, why don't you name all the guys, the members in the band, so we know who we're talking about here?
Okay, well, there's me, obviously.
We knew that when we picked up the phone.
Ron Cook, who was the original guitar player for Thrust, which we were talking earlier, when Thrust originally started. So he's a guitar player. Angel Rodriguez is another guitar player. The other guitar player.
Right.
Ray Gervais is bass guitar, Andy Beaudry's vocals, and then yours truly.
Okay.
And and it's funny because back in where we lived in New England and originally in Connecticut, which is I think when I first met Ray. Ray was a little tyke back then. I don't think you guys were playing music, were you at that age?
No, we weren't. We were in elementary school when we first met it. We've known each other since kindergarten.
I know you have. Yeah, I remember a little Ray Gervais.
So and then we moved away out of the neighborhood, and some years had gone by, and I want to, teenage years, and when I ran into Ray again, and he was playing at the time, and we kind of course.
So that was back in Rhode Island.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm going to turn this back over to you, Rob, because you're making the big bucks here.
Oh, yeah. Boy, am I raking it in.
Look at these corporate dollars. No, I was going to say one thing to him. The funny story about him, and actually our other brother, Jay, who's also a drummer. He's out in Phoenix, Glendale area. But I used to have, when I was playing in bands, and back then it was like sort of the disco era, so everybody in New England was working. There were like 6 gigs a week, making good money. but I had an acoustic guitar in my room, and I'll never forget this. I don't remember who all was there, but Joe, I had come home, and I used to tell the two boys, I'd say, don't be in my room when I'm not here.
Yeah.
Which is how they hear it. How they hear it is, I'll be gone in 10 minutes when the party begins. But
pretty much.
But I remember that one time, I also had the old, cassette player, the old push-button cassette players back then, because in my day they were cassette tapes and stuff. But I had come home and I was going to record something, because I was just learning a little bit of guitar too. But I remember something was already on the recording.
Uh-oh.
And it was Joe here, and I think, was Dell a part of this, Del Tipple, the other... but they and at the time the Bee Gees were popular.
I don't know, he may have been. I think we were goofing around.
I still have that tape. I should cue it up and play it.
Uh-oh, blackmail. I hear blackmail coming. How much money do you have, Joe?
Yeah, right.
I'll give you the address. You can send that Brinks truck right over. But it was the funniest thing, because they were doing all the Bee Gees inflections. I think the words were running down the street. That was one of them. And running back up the street. That was the rest of the song. But yeah, it was good. I got to find that song.
I don't know. I don't know. I can only imagine I'd probably hang myself if you played it.
I said, blackmail.
Well, we don't. Yeah, it was. No, I just thought it was funny. I got it. It's somewhere around, but I just sort of remember that. Anyway, go ahead, Rob. I don't.
So Joe. So I know you have there's a couple of thrust shows in the Los Angeles area coming up. In fact, one of them's already sold out.
Yes.
But I think there's another one that I saw already on Facebook that's happening. So people should check out the Thrust Facebook page and see where that is, unless you want to tell us now where they can go to check you guys out.
Yeah, of course, everything's on the Thrust Facebook page. And we also have a website, which is thrustonline.com.
Yes.
October 7th, 8th, and 9th is the Frost and Fire Festival in Ventura. We're playing the 7th, which is a Friday night.
But that's the one that's sold out.
Night one is already sold out. So if you're looking for tickets, you won't get tickets for the first night, which is at the Bombay Club in Ventura. Night two is at the Ventura Theater, and then Sunday it goes back to the Bombay. But Friday is already sold out, so there's no tickets left for Friday, but there are still some left for Saturday and Sunday. I just don't know how much are left.
Okay.
What's your start time?
And which wait, are you playing all 3 nights or all 3 days?
No. We're just playing Friday night.
Oh, so they can't see you. So forget about advertising that. Okay, so what's the where can they?
Well, no, because we still want people to come down.
Okay. What a nice guy you are. Okay, so
well, there's Saturday and Sunday also, and we'll be hanging out Saturday and Sunday as well.
All right. So where and what's the other gig that you're playing in Los Angeles coming up?
The other one's actually in San Bernardino. And it's called Night of the Living Beast, and I'm not sure. I think tickets have already gone on sale for that, and I believe that's an all-ages show as well.
Okay.
And again, they can go on Thrust Facebook page or thrustonline.com to get the information on that as well, because I don't know the address off the top of my head to tell you.
Okay, all right, and also now there's a 35th anniversary release that happened recently, right? Music record, and so people should, check that out as well.
Yeah, where would people buy any of the Thrust music? Where do you guys have it available?
Well, online it's on iTunes. It's Best Buy, Target, anywhere you can buy online. It's online. You can also buy it directly through the Metal Blade website as well. If you want the disc, shirts, and all that, you can get through thrustonline.com. any merchandise for Thrust, you can get through thrustonline.com. But if somebody wanted to go online, say to Amazon or Best Buy or iTunes or whatever, they can buy the Thrust albums on those sites as well.
Yeah, and I just, excuse me, just because I did this actually before we got on the thing here, but yeah, it is thrustonline.com because I went to search thrust.com and that's not. That isn't the same.
Right, it's thrustonline.com, right. And are you guys going to do any recording, like, your unit together?
Well, we are, we're actually writing for a new album now.
Cool.
I don't want to give away too many details at the moment, but yeah, we're actually in the process of writing for a new album now.
Cool. Okay, we'll leave it there, but that's something to look forward to, Thrust fans, and that's great. And I think that's all we have.
I only have one more. I have one more question.
Yes, Mr. Ed.
I was going to say, so who are your favorite, metal drummers or drummers in general that influenced you to play?
Well, my first influence was you because the drums are always around the house. But as far as guys in the rock and metal genre, guys like, of course, Vinny Appice, Tommy Aldrich, Troy Luccketta.
Wait, who was the third one?
Troy Luccketta.
Oh, okay.
Troy Luccketta.
Okay, got it.
From Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Steve Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Just, all the guys that play the way I always wanted to play but never could.
Oh, geez. Yeah, we all have that going on. But, yeah, and Tommy, we actually, one of the first clinics I had seen out here was presented by Zildjian over at UCLA, and it was Tommy Aldrich happened to be on it. I love his playing. He's a great player. But he's just so into it. And one of the funniest things, I didn't realize the guy was this funny, but one of the funniest things was, because it was in reference to double bass playing, and Tommy had a big Yamaha double bass kit at this clinic. And somebody in the audience said to Tommy, geez, Tommy, Buddy Rich says if you're a real bitch on the drums, and I guess just meaning if you're such a hot player, one bass drum is more than enough. And Tommy held up one drumstick and he said, yeah, well, if that's true, this would be a pair of sticks. I always loved it. I just thought it was great. But he's such a great player and a total showman. And I think he was like really one of the first rock guys who ever incorporated that whole thing. He was always just amazing to watch, the guy. And then eventually the solos with just the hands and no sticks. And boy, you talk about, he's the example of a physical drummer, just like, his whole body and soul go into it. You can see it when he's playing. He's got a take no prisoners attitude the way he plays, and I love it.
Yeah, he's got a ton of energy, and he plays hard. He's like the quintessential rock drummer. Yeah.
There's another guy. Just now that we're talking about this, Tommy Aldrich should come on the show, and you should interview him if he's listening. Beg and plead. We still got a few minutes.
Okay, Tommy. I'll put it out
Tommy.
there. Okay.
The invitation's open.
Okay.
And we'll give him a pair of stick for making the appearance. That'll be great.
A pair of stick?
Okay. All right.
All right, kid. Well, I guess we got what we need, and it was great that you were available to come on. It sounds like there's a lot of exciting things going on.
I'm happy for you, Joe, and it sounds great. And it's really great to catch up with you. And I'm so glad that you could take the time. And I really want to thank you for being here and thank everybody for tuning in, and want everybody to check out my website. A little self-promotion here at robinflansdrummerinterviews.com, where you can download audio interviews with some of the greatest drummers on the planet. And please check out ePad practice pads at epadco.com. And also want to take a minute to send out our wishes for a speedy recovery to Tyler Fulco of the band The Fulcos. He's an 11-year-old drummer who was airlifted to a hospital.
Loma Linda, yeah.
He had, I guess he had 4 seizures. They don't even know what happened or
Yeah.
why
Oh, wow.
or
Yeah.
I mean, 11-year-old drummer.
He's amazing. He's an amazing player. I've seen him several times, and he's just a ball of energy and a great, solid drummer.
I mean,
So,
thankfully, it looks like he's going to recover fully, but not sure when, he'll be, back behind the drum kit, but he will be home soon, and we just want everybody to send out, lots of good wishes, and
I think too there is a GoFundMe page for Tyler. I think you'd have to get on the internet and scope that out. But his dad, Joey, I think, or somebody set one up for him. But
lots of bills.
Best wishes.
Lots of bills
Absolutely.
there. So any help would be appreciated, I'm sure. And happy belated birthday to my dear friend Danny Seraphin, whose birthday was yesterday. I love you, Danny. And
Yes, happy birthday, Danny.
if you have any questions about the show and our guests and any earth-shattering news you want to send our way, please email us at info@robinflansdrummerinterviews.com. And by the way, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. And, stay tuned, everybody, for upcoming interviews with Rick Murata, Todd Zuckerman. I promised a second interview with Jim Keltner. And thanks, everyone, for listening. And most of all, thank you to Joe Rezendes.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, my utmost
We got to
pleasure.
give him we got to do the crowd applause.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, hang on a second.
Yay, Joe! Thanks, Joe.
All right, we will talk. I'll give you a call, kid. But thanks for being on. This is really great, and
Best of luck.
And we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.